So tell us what inspired this film, Disappearance.
It started with a series of photographs I saw of a British photographer, Leonie Purchas was. She visited her mom, lived with her mom for a year, and during that whole year she photographed the life of her mom. That was my inspiration. She looks especially at the moments in between, that's how I call it. So not the celebrations or the special moments, but the simple moments. And that made me realize that sometimes we forget to look at the simple moments in life, and try to find an attention for that.
This film deals with death, of course, and it's funny that when I saw the film, I kind of related to it because, of course, my father passed away, and the dealings with death, of course. But this film is a little bit different from, let's say, Manchester by the Sea, where it really delves into the the sadness of death. But here, with a person who can't relate to death as of yet because they're still young, but in this film, it seems that they can relate to this film, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My father I just heard last week that he's ill, pancreas cancer, so probably has a couple of months. And when I heard it, I was abroad, so I was on the telephone. I spoke to him, and that minute I spoke to him was more special because we knew it's one of the last conversations. And that, in that sense, I see death as an inspiration for life. As we realize that it is limited, our time, we're more aware of the time, and we spend it better, I think. Yeah. More aware, awake, full of energy. Yeah. In that sense, that is an inspiration.
Tell us a little bit about Marcus Hansen and how you chose him, and the actual casting.
Yeah, there's a young boy. You mean Marcus Hansen? He's a Norwegian boy. He's 13 years old, so he was not trained. He's not a trained actor. I did a little bit of casting, not so many boys, and he was straight there. I did the casting. I brought the main actress to Norway. The main actress is Dutch. We did a co-production with Norway and brought her to a casting agent in Norway and see how they reacted when they were playing. And he reacted good. And then slowly we developed this brother-sister relationship. He had to go through a lot because he had to kiss for the first time. He was driving a car, he was smoking, and he even had to touch the breast, sorry, my English, breast of his sister in the film. Yeah. So it was kind of an initiation for him from young man to an adult.
Tell us about the location that you actually used for the film, and why you wanted to use that theme for this film, and of course it's the cinematography of the film.
Yeah, it's an inspiring environment. It's the north of Norway. It's the rare place in Europe where you can really disappear. I think it's the only real big wilderness of Europe. From the place, I think there's a 200 kilometers nothingness. Probably in Canada that's more used, but in the Netherlands there's roaming everywhere. There are people everywhere, streets and buildings. So I want to get away from that and see what it does. Nature's really rough there. It's up north, and the birch trees don't get taller than this, and it's but when there's this snow on the landscape, it has a feeling of endlessness. Yes, that's what I was looking for.
What would you like your audience to take away from the film when they watch this film?
I hope they have that awareness that life is precious, that every minute is precious. When I look at my photo album I have of my daughter, all her birthday parties are in there, but they all look the same except the candles change, and she grows a little bit. But I forget to photograph, for example, the road that I walk with her when I bring her to school, which I do every day. I don't have a photograph of that road, but maybe that's more important than the birthday. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's what I hope that the film is an inspiration for.
Tell us why you got into the film industry.
In the film industry,
why you wanted to become a director.
Yeah, I think I want to tell stories. I think maybe life is a random happening of things which I don't understand. I find it really, really hard to understand why stuff happens. And the thing we do as human beings is invent stories to make sense. So that's what I do all the time. Also, I have 2 children, and what I do, if something happens at school, I try to tell a story so they understand what happened. If a kid doesn't want to play with them, or I try to tell a story in such way with animals, for example, when they go to bed, so that they understand a little bit better and get a bit of control and have the feeling they are in control of their own lives. We are absolutely not, I believe, but storytelling is a way to have the feeling you are in control.
With the box office numbers really down, and the streaming that's going on with Netflix and stuff like that, can you tell us, was there a strategy for your film and how you wanted it to get out there into the world?
Yeah, I think
Because like the film industry, it's different now.
yes, my film is what we call an art house movie. To compete in that, it's completely uninteresting for salespeople. So it's very, very hard to get it across the world. I think festivals like Toronto Film Festival or Berlin, there are many more, are really important for this kind of films, because if they wouldn't invite this film, nobody would see it. Nobody would want to sell it. And now at least there is a first step. Sales agents get interested, and then slowly, and sometimes suddenly, my strategy is to try to be as good as possible, to pay attention to every detail, and to be honest, truthful to yourself, and don't try to compete with the big films, but be special in another way.
And how does it feel to be here at the Toronto International Film Festival?
I'm still very jet lagged, so I'm a kind of between dream and awake, which is lovely.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your film here.